the amount or the share of generation who is proud to be American is falling off a cliff. It's actually insane. And it's something that I actually feel very deeply about. If you look here, the net shares of each generation who say they are proud to live in the United States, baby boomers who are essentially our parents, in their 60s, 70s, 73% are proud to live in the United States. Gen X, who are in their 40s and 50s, 54%. And then it reaches below the 50% threshold when you get to millennials, 36%. And Gen Z, 16%. You're talking teenagers and 20-something-year-olds who are abundantly not proud to live in the United States. And as you're saying these stories about, all right, economic freedom, check. Okay, say whatever you want for the most part,
100%.
Check. I'm wondering, where did this shame come from based on your findings? Why young people in America are not proud to be American? This is something that deeply, deeply bothers me.
So once again, I think there are probably a lot of causes at play. I want to talk about one or two of them, but before I do that, let's get the numbers right. So right now, native-born American women have about 1.7 children per woman per lifetime, and again, you need 2.1.
That 2.1 to replace yourself. Yeah. Okay.
So it's mostly immigration which is still driving our population forward. So America is still growing in terms of its population. We are not shrinking like the Japanese, for example, but it's mostly driven by non-native American women who are having more children than
immigrants.
Okay. Now, possibly, I think one of the reasons that is sort of in my mind is that I do meet a lot of young people. And part of the reason why they feel so bad about America is because they're actually deeply ignorant about the rest of the world. There is very little understanding amongst the young about just how rich Americans are vis-a-vis the rest of the world. Now, I understand that income is not the only thing which matters. But still, in spite of all of our problems, 9/11, financial crisis, COVID, etc., we are the richest generation in the whole history of the United States. We are much richer than our ancestors were. And not just that, Americans are much richer relative to the second most developed part of the world, which is Western Europe. Even middle-income America, I mean, if the Western European income, if you compare it to the American states, to the 50 states, it would be on par with Louisiana and Mississippi, the poorest states in the Union. Those are the average incomes.
How do you calculate that? What formula did they use to define that?
I think this would be GDP per capita.
Okay.
As far as I recall, I saw it online a number of times from reputable sources. I think one of them was Timbro, which is a Swedish think tank. The reality is that here in the United States, Mississippi and Louisiana are the poorest states in the Union. And if you go to the richest, they are roughly twice as rich as the poorest states in the Union.
California, New York.
And Western Europe is on the level of America's poorest states.
Again, so let's go back. So what causes people to keep having kids? What causes people to stop having kids? So aside from a law mandated by the government like China, let's set that aside. That's a law. We can't do nothing about a law, right? This is depressing to look at this. It's very disappointing to see how Gen Z feels about their, how patriotic they are. But I'm not surprised. Gen Z spends the most time with teachers. And by the way, you want me to tell you the craziest data about teachers? I'll tell you the craziest data about teachers here. We just got the statistic this last week based on a research we were doing with Kai. Do you know what percent? And they got this data exactly on how people gave money, contributed towards their political party. What percentage of Hollywood do you think votes Democrat?
90%.
It's exactly 90-10. What percentage of professors in universities are Democrat to Republican?
90 Democrats.
I would say more than that.
For every one conservative, how many Democrats are there?
13.
12.
12?
It's 1 to 12. It used to be, it's 1 to 12, 1 to 13.
So you're talking 94%.
Exactly. So 1 to 12 is... that's a full-on monopoly. All these people are worried about monopoly. There's no bigger monopoly than this one.
Yeah.
But watch this one here. So when you think about Gen Z, who do they spend the most time with? English teachers What percentage of English teachers are Democrats? English teachers in K through 12.
99%.
97%.
Holy shit.
What percentage of health teachers are Democrats? Health teachers in school, health and guidance.
I'm going to say 95.
99%. They're the
Oh my
highest. English
God.
teachers are 97. Health is 99%. Here's a little one that they have a little bit of reason. Science and math. What percentage are Democrats? Remember, this requires logic.
I'll just say 50.
87% to 13%. Okay, so 97 is English, 99 is health, 87 is math and science. And Gen Zs are spending time around them nonstop. Hence, you're going to be thinking like they do. So I am not surprised at all. They're being convinced that America sucks and America's bad and America's this and get one of the benefits about having YouTube and access to different channels where you can kind of brainwash yourself out of the insanity stuff you've learned. You almost need to unlearn the crap that they've learned.
If you believe the future looks bright, order your Future Looks Bright hat today.